The door slammed open, and there he was, my best friend Kurt, lips locked with my younger brother Jamie in the dim light of our family basement. My heart stopped as I dropped the laundry basket, the thud echoing like a gunshot in the silence. In that split second, everything I thought I knew about loyalty, family, and myself shattered into a million irreparable pieces. I stood frozen, my mind racing through a whirlwind of confusion and betrayal. Kurt and I had been inseparable since high school in our small suburban town outside Chicago. Football games, late-night talks about girls we pretended to like, and dreams of escaping to the city. Jamie, at 19, was the golden child, the one our conservative parents pinned all their hopes on. Straight-A student, church youth group leader, future engineer. But here they were, tangled in each other's arms, oblivious to the world until my gasp broke the spell. Kurt pulled away first, his face paling as he stammered, "Mark, it's not—" "Wait, let me explain." Jamie's eyes widened in terror, his usual confident demeanor crumbling. I didn't wait for explanations. I turned and bolted upstairs, my chest tightening like a vice. How long had this been going on? Right under my nose? And why did a part of me feel not just anger, but a twisted envy that I couldn't name? That night, sleep evaded me. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning endlessly, replaying the scene. Our family was picture-perfect on the surface. Dad, a veteran cop with unyielding views on traditional values. Mom, the homemaker who volunteered at the local Baptist church every weekend. They raised us with Bible verses and stern lectures about morality. Being gay, that was a sin, a choice, something to pray away. I'd heard it all my life, internalized it so deeply that even my own fleeting thoughts about guys were buried under layers of denial. But seeing Kurt and Jamie, it stirred something. Kurt, with his easy smile and athletic build, had always been the one I confided in. We'd shared secrets, but never this. Was he gay? B? And Jamie, my little brother who I'd protected from bullies, taught to throw a punch. How could he risk everything? Our parents would disown him. Hell, they'd disown all of us if this blew up. The next morning, I confronted Kurt at our usual coffee spot, a dingy diner on Main Street. He looked haggard, bags under his eyes. "Mark, please," he begged as we sat in a booth, steam rising from our mugs. "It just happened. Jamie and we've been talking for months. It's real. Real." I hissed, keeping my voice low. "You're my best friend, and you go behind my back with my brother? What about loyalty?" He leaned forward, desperation in his eyes. "I tried to fight it, but being around your family, seeing how repressed everything is, it made me realize I couldn't hide anymore. And Jamie, he's struggling too." Struggling. That word hit hard. I knew Jamie had been distant lately, skipping family dinners, burying himself in books. But I chalked it up to college stress. Now it made sense, the late nights studying with Kurt, the secretive texts. "What about me?" I blurted out, surprising myself. Kurt's brow furrowed. "What do you mean?" I hesitated, my throat dry. "Nothing. Just forget it." But inside, turmoil brewed. For years, I'd pushed down attractions to guys in the locker room, convinced it was a phase. Dating girls felt mechanical, obligatory. Seeing Kurt and Jamie forced me to question. Was I like them? And if so, what would that cost? Days blurred into a tense standoff. I avoided home, crashing at a coworker's place under the guise of overtime at my dead-end warehouse job. Jamie texted relentlessly, "We need to talk. Please don't tell Mom and Dad." Kurt called, leaving voicemails that pleaded for understanding. Finally, I caved and met Jamie in the park where we used to play as kids. The autumn leaves crunched underfoot as he approached, hands shoved in his pockets. "Mark, I'm sorry you found out like that," he said, voice trembling. "But I love him. I've known I was gay since I was 14, but with Dad's rants about those people, I couldn't say anything. Love." The word hung heavy. "And Kurt? He's using you to figure himself out." "No, Jamie insisted. He's been out to himself for years, but scared. Like me." We sat on a bench, the wind whipping around us. Jamie poured out his story. The isolation, the fear of rejection, the online forums where he found solace. Hearing it, empathy clashed with my ingrained beliefs. Dad's voice echoed in my head. A man's role is clear: family, duty, no deviations. But as Jamie spoke, I saw the pain etched on his face. What if they kick me out? He whispered. I wanted to reassure him, but doubt gnawed at me. I don't know, Jamie. This could destroy everything. That evening, back home, tension simmered. Mom noticed my mood, probing gently over dinner. Dad grumbled about work, oblivious. I watched Jamie, pale and quiet, and felt a pang. Betrayal faded, replaced by protectiveness. But protecting him meant lying, and lies had a price. The first crack came at church that Sunday. Our pastor preached on family purity, railing against modern perversions. Dad nodded approvingly. Jamie squirmed beside me, and I felt sweat bead on my forehead. After, in the parking lot, Kurt waited discreetly. Jamie glanced at me, pleading silently. I nodded subtly, and he slipped away. But Dad saw. Who's that? He barked. Just a friend. I lied, heart pounding. Suspicion planted. The seeds of conflict grew. I knew this was only the beginning. The choices ahead would test us all, demanding sacrifices none of us were prepared for. Weeks passed in a haze of secrecy and strain. I became the unwilling guardian of their secret, fielding questions from our parents while grappling with my own awakening. Every glance at Kurt now carried weight. Memories of our shared pasts twisted into something more intimate. Had he ever felt the same pull toward me? The thought terrified and thrilled me. A dangerous cocktail in our tight-knit world. One evening, after a grueling shift, I found Kurt waiting outside my apartment. We can't keep avoiding this, he said, his breath visible in the crisp Chicago air. Talk to me, Mark. Reluctantly, I let him in. The small space felt smaller with him there, tension thick. What do you want me to say? I snapped. That I'm okay with you sneaking around with my brother? Risking our family's implosion. It's not sneaking, he countered. We're careful. But Mark, this isn't just about us. I've seen how you look at guys. You're fighting the same fight. His words struck like lightning. What the hell are you talking about? Come on, Kurt pressed gently. Remember senior year, that party? You stared at Ryan the whole night. And you never really clicked with Sarah or any girl. I paced the room, anger masking fear. That's bullshit. I'm straight. This is your mess, not mine. But denial cracked. That night, alone, I searched online, incognito mode, of course. Forums, stories of men coming out later in life, the toll of repression. It resonated too deeply. At 25, I was supposed to have it figured out. Steady job, girlfriend, future. Instead, I felt adrift. The pressure mounted when Jamie confided his plan to tell our parents. I can't live like this, he said over coffee one afternoon. Hiding eats at me. Are you crazy? I whispered. Dad will freak. Remember Uncle Ted? He came out and the family cut him off. Gone. Jamie nodded, eyes resolute. But if I don't, I'll lose myself. And Kurt, he's worth it. Worth it. I envied his certainty. My own confusion boiled over into a reckless decision. I kissed a guy at a bar that weekend. Anonymous, fueled by liquid courage. Felt right, electric, until guilt crashed in the next morning. What was I doing? Betraying my upbringing? Meanwhile, societal whispers amplified. At work, coworkers joked about queers. In the news, Dad's influence echoing. One day, a colleague outed himself casually. The backlash was swift. Snide remarks, isolation. I stayed silent, complicit in the cruelty, hating myself for it. The turning point came at a family barbecue. Neighbors milled about our backyard, burgers sizzling. Kurt showed up as a friend, but stolen glances between him and Jamie screamed otherwise. Dad, beer in hand, cornered me. Something's off with your brother. He's distant. You know anything? I swallowed hard. Nah, just school stress. He eyed me suspiciously. Don't lie to me, son. Family first. That night, Jamie and Kurt argued in hushed tones in the garage. I eavesdropped, heart racing. We have to slow down, Kurt said. Mark's right. It's risky.
No, Jamie retorted.
I'm done hiding. If you love me, stand with me. Their words ignited my own conflict. Love versus safety. I intervened, pulling Jamie aside. Think about Mom. Her heart condition. She can't handle this shock. Tears welled in his eyes. And what about my heart? Breaking every day. I had no answer. The moral quandary deepened. Was protecting the family enabling oppression? Or was coming out selfish, endangering all? Days later, betrayal struck. I confided in my ex-girlfriend Lisa, seeking advice. I think I'm not straight, I admitted over drinks. She listened, then hugged me. But the next day, rumors spread, small-town gossip. Dad heard whispers at the precinct. He confronted me at home, face thunderous. What's this crap about you and guys? I denied it, but the seed was planted. Jamie overheard, fury blazing. You told Lisa? After preaching secrecy. I needed someone, I protested. You hypocrite, he shouted. Mom entered, alarmed. Boys, what's going on? Nothing, we chorused, but the fracture widened. Kurt pulled away, hurt by the fallout. This is tearing us apart, he texted me. Maybe it's not worth it. But it was too late. The choices we'd made or avoided set a chain reaction in motion. Dad's suspicion grew, leading to invasive questions, monitored phones. Jamie withdrew further, depression creeping in. In a moment of desperation, I decided to come clean to Kurt about my feelings. We met at the lakefront, waves lapping. I think I'm like you, I confessed. Gay. And I felt things for you. His eyes softened, but sadness lingered. Mark, timing's everything. But now, with Jamie, the confession hung, unresolved. As we parted, a storm brewed, not just weather, but the impending family reckoning. Sacrifices loomed, and the price of truth versus silence weighed heavier than ever. The unraveling accelerated like a freight train without brakes. Dad's cop instincts kicked in. He started tailing Jamie, checking his browser history. One evening, he burst into the living room, holding Jamie's phone. What the hell is this? He roared, screen displaying texts from Kurt. Innocuous on surface, but damning in context. Jamie paled. Mom clutched her chest, eyes wide. I stood there, guilt-stricken, knowing my slip to Lisa had amplified the scrutiny. It's nothing, Jamie stammered. Just friends. Dad's face reddened. Friends don't say, I miss your touch. You're one of them. The slur hung ugly in the air. Jamie straightened, defiance sparking. Yes, Dad, I'm gay. And Kurt is my boyfriend. Silence exploded into chaos. Dad lunged forward, but I stepped between them. Stop. Let him explain. Explain, Dad bellowed. This is an abomination. After everything we've taught you. Mom sobbed quietly, murmuring prayers. Jamie's voice cracked. I tried to be what you wanted, but I can't change who I am. Dad pointed at the door. Then get out. No son of mine lives like this. Jamie grabbed his jacket and left, slamming the door. I chased after him into the night. Wait, where are you going? To Kurt's, he said, tears streaming. I knew this would happen. Back inside, Dad ranted about disgrace, how the neighbors would talk, the church's judgment. Mom retreated to her room, devastated. I felt torn, loyalty to family clashing with empathy for Jamie. The next day, I visited Jamie at Kurt's cramped apartment in the city. They sat close, hands intertwined. Thanks for standing up, Jamie said softly. But at what cost? I replied. Mom's a wreck. Dad's talking about cutting you off. Kurt interjected. It's not fair, but hiding perpetuates the hate. We have to live authentically. Authentically. The word mocked my half-truths. I hadn't come out yet, riding the fence. But seeing their resolve, I envied it. Societal backlash hit hard. Word spread. Old friends distanced themselves. At work, Whispers followed me. Heard about your brother? Runs in the family. I punched a locker in frustration, earning a warning from my boss. Moral dilemmas piled up. Dad demanded I choose sides. Cut ties with Jamie, or you're out too. The ultimatum forced introspection. Was blood thicker than truth? Or did enabling prejudice make me complicit? I chose a middle path, sneaking visits to Jamie while placating Dad. But deception eroded me. One night, drunk, Dad confessed his fears. I don't want to lose my boys, but it's wrong. Wrong according to who? I challenged gently. The Bible? Society? He glared. Don't you start. But I was starting. My own awakening demanded action. I attended a support group in the city. Anonymous faces sharing stories of rejection. Resilience. It empowered me, but also highlighted the risks. Lost jobs, fractured families. Then betrayal deepened. Kurt, under pressure from his own conservative job, wavered. Maybe we take a break, he told Jamie during a heated call I overheard. Until things calm. Jamie's heart broke audibly. You said you'd stand by me. I am, but reality bites. Jamie hung up, devastated. I comforted him, anger at Kurt simmering. He's weak, I said.
No, Jamie replied.
He's scared, like we all are. The fallout rippled. Mom secretly met Jamie, torn between love and doctrine. I pray for you every day, she whispered. But Dad forbade it, widening the rift. In a bold move, Jamie applied for scholarships, determined to finish college independently. His resilience inspired me. One evening, I confronted Dad. Jamie's still your son. Pushing him away won't change him. Dad's eyes hardened. It'll change our family name. The argument escalated, voices raised. What if I'm gay too? I blurted, the words escaping before I could stop them. Time froze. Dad's face contorted in shock. Then rage. Get out. Both my sons. Poisoned. I left, suitcase in hand, joining Jamie at Kurt's. The three of us exiles in our own lives. Kurt apologized profusely, recommitting to Jamie. But trust frayed. As winter set in, we navigated survival. Odd jobs, shared expenses. The emotional toll mounted, sleepless nights, therapy sessions. I dated a guy tentatively, exploring my identity, but guilt lingered. Had my confession been selfish? Timely? Highs and lows intertwined. A community event connected us to allies, offering hope. But Dad's silence stung, a void where family should be. The climax brewed when Mom collapsed from stress, hospitalized. Blame flew. Dad accused us, we pointed at his intolerance. Visiting her bedside, she whispered, I love you both, but this pain. Her words catalyzed reflection. Choices had consequences. Freedom's price was isolation, but suppression's was soul death. Tensions peaked at her discharge. Dad, softened by fear, allowed a tentative reunion. But conditions loomed. No lifestyle talk. We agreed, wary. Yet undercurrents swirled. Kurt proposed to Jamie impulsively, a beacon amid darkness. Jamie hesitated, aware of the battles ahead. My own path clarified, advocacy perhaps, but the damage done begged the question, had we chosen right? Reconciliation dangled like a fragile thread, easily snapped. Mom's hospital scare forced a family meeting in our living room, the air thick with unspoken resentments. Dad sat rigid, arms crossed. Jamie and I flanked Mom on the couch, Kurt waiting outside like an unwelcome ghost. I won't pretend this is okay, Dad started gruffly. But your mother's health comes first. No more drama. Jamie nodded, but fire simmered in his eyes. Drama? You mean living honestly? Dad's jaw clenched. Watch it. Mom intervened weakly. Please, let's try. For me. We agreed to a truce. Weekly dinners, no mentions of relationships. But facades cracked quickly. At the first meal, Dad eyed Jamie suspiciously. Seeing anyone? Jamie hesitated. Yes, Kurt. The fork clattered. Not in this house. Then why invite me? Jamie shot back. I mediated, pulse racing. Dad, give it time. But time revealed deeper fissures. Societal pressures amplified. Church friends shunned Mom, whispering about wayward sons. She confided in me, tears flowing. I don't know what's right anymore. Her doubt mirrored mine. Was forcing acceptance moral? Or should we retreat for peace? Kurt's commitment wavered again under job stress. Rumors at his firm threatened his position. I love Jamie, but I need stability, he confessed to me privately. Tell him that, I urged. Don't betray him. He did, sparking a brutal fight. Jamie accused him of cowardice. You promised forever, Kurt retorted. Forever in hiding? That's not living. They broke up that night, Jamie crashing with me in my tiny rented room. His sobs echoed my inner turmoil. Love's fragility exposed, the cost of vulnerability stark. I threw myself into self-discovery, joining an LGBTQ+ group at a community center. Stories of triumph and tragedy fueled me. One member, outed forcibly, lost everything but gained freedom. Worth it? I asked. Every scar, he replied. Inspired, I applied for a better job in the city, away from small-town judgment. But Dad's call halted momentum. Your brother's mess is spreading. Neighbors know about you too. How? I demanded. Doesn't matter. Fix it or don't come back. The ultimatum reignited rage. I confronted him at home. Fix what? Who I am. You're choosing this path, he growled. Against God. Against us. God's love is unconditional, I countered, echoing group discussions. Yours isn't. He stormed out, leaving Mom pleading. The divide seemed insurmountable. Jamie, heartbroken, spiraled into recklessness. Partying, skipping classes. I pulled him back, reminding him of his dreams. Don't let this define you. But it does, he whispered. Every rejection chips away. Moral conflicts intensified. A cousin's wedding approached. We were uninvited. To avoid awkwardness. The snub stung, highlighting societal hypocrisy. In a twist, Kurt returned, groveling. I was wrong. Let's fight together. Jamie forgave, but warily. Their reunion sparked hope, but also envy in me. I dated sporadically, fearing attachment's risks. The high point came at a pride event we attended secretly. Colors, cheers, acceptance washed over us. Jamie smiled genuinely for the first time in months. This is what freedom feels like. But reality intruded. Dad suffered a minor heart attack from stress, blaming us indirectly. Visiting him, guilt gnawed. See what you've done? He wheezed. We didn't do this, I said firmly. Your hate did. His eyes flickered with regret. Perhaps. I just wanted normal sons. Normal is overrated, Jamie added softly. Mom facilitated bridges, therapy suggestions, reading materials on acceptance. Dad resisted, but cracks appeared. He stopped the slurs, listened marginally. Personal growth bloomed amid chaos. I came out at work, facing mixed reactions but standing tall. The liberation outweighed losses. Yet betrayals lingered. A friend leaked details to the local paper, sensationalizing our family drama.
Hevlin ascramat, cop sons de fi tradition.
Dad's job suffered. Early retirement loomed. The toll. Strained marriages, lost friendships. But awakenings too. Mom joined a support group for parents, evolving slowly. As spring thawed the winter, we gathered for Mom's birthday. Tensions eased slightly. Dad tolerated Kurt's presence. Laughter returned tentatively. But under it, questions festered. Had our choices healed or harmed? The path forward, fraught with uncertainty, demanded ongoing sacrifices. Jamie's engagement to Kurt, announced quietly, tested limits anew. Dad walked out, but returned hours later. I won't bless it, he said, but I won't stop it. Progress, bittersweet. The price paid. Fractured bonds, but forged authenticity. My own relationship blossomed with a group member, steady and real. Yet, doubts whispered, was the upheaval justified? The wedding loomed as the ultimate test. a battlefield of emotions and ideologies. Jamie and Kurt opted for a small ceremony in a Chicago park, inviting only allies. Mom attended, defying Dad's protests. "They're my sons," she declared, a quiet revolution. Dad stayed home, nursing grudges. I walked Jamie down the aisle, symbolic, poignant. Vows exchanged, rings slipped on, amid tears and applause. But absence echoed, the empty seat for Dad. Post-ceremony, joy mingled with sorrow. Jamie whispered, "Wish he was here." "He made his choice," Kurt said, holding him close. Choices. Their echoes rippled outward. Dad's isolation deepened. Friends drifted, mirroring his rejections. Mom thrived in her group, advocating subtly at church. "Love thy neighbor," she quoted, challenging doctrines. I advanced at my new job, openly gay, mentoring others. Fulfillment came, but at the cost of hometown ties severed. Societal shifts influenced us. News of equality wins, but backlashes too. A local hate incident targeted a gay couple. We rallied, protesting. Dad watched on TV, conflicted. One evening, he called unexpectedly. "Saw you on the news." "Risky." "Necessary," I replied. A pause. Maybe I was wrong. About some things. The admission, monumental, sparked tentative dialogues. He read books Mom lent, attended a session reluctantly. Change crept, not leaped, but relapses occurred. At a family holiday, old prejudices surfaced. Marriage is between man and woman. Jamie stood firm. Ours is valid.
Tension flared, but de escalatade.
Progress, incremental. Personal reckonings continued. Kurt's job loss due to bias forced a move. They relocated to a progressive suburb, thriving but uprooted. I faced my own trial. A promotion required relocation. Leaving meant distancing from fragile family men's. I chose it, prioritizing growth. Selfish, Dad accused. Essential, I countered. The move brought clarity. Distance allowed perspective. Our upheavals catalyzed evolutions. Jamie's career flourished. He counseled LGBTQ+ youth, turning pain to purpose. Mom and Dad's marriage strained but endured, strengthened by trials. She confided, "I see now. Love isn't conditional." Awakenings abounded. A church friend apologized for past judgments, inspired by our story. Yet damages lingered, lost years, emotional scars. Jamie admitted in a late-night call, "Sometimes I wonder if hiding longer would have been easier." "But worth it?" I asked. "Absolutely. Freedom's price is high, but imprisonment's higher." The narrative closed on a reflective note, lives forever altered by decisions bold and fraught. In the end, was forcing the family to confront deeply ingrained prejudices the right path? Or did it cause unnecessary suffering that could have been avoided through gradual change?